Hi everybody. Hi everybody. It's the Soap Man. Going to do another bar of soap today, and I'll talk to you about it. I wanted to talk to you just a minute though. I'll probably film this tomorrow, but I also make my own laundry soap, and I decided to try something. I'm basing this on the Zote laundry bar. This is what I've made. This is actually just half of the recipe. I cut the bar in half. It's totally white. I'm going to talk to you more detail tomorrow when I make this. It's tallow and coconut oil, 0% superfat, zero color, zero fragrance. I had just a little bit left in the pot, and I just soaked the pot in here to use this over. You probably can't tell in this light, but you see how white that is? That's white because that is still full of suds from this soap. Just a little tiny bit that was left in the pot. It's full of suds, and it's been sitting for an hour and a half. I'm guessing it's probably the tallow in this because coconut oil generally does not make a long-lasting suds, but this has been about an hour and a half sitting and it is still full of suds on the bottom. So anyway, I'm going to talk to you more about that tomorrow, so let's get busy making the soap that I had promised. Let me get you set up here so we can see. This is my oil. It's cooled down to about a little over 100. The lye is about 115. They're a little bit off, but it's close enough. If you watched my videos, the last one I made was this soap, which I absolutely love, but I had trouble getting it out of the vertical mold. I had to cut it out. Okay, love this soap, but I had to cut it out, and I had a lot of soap scraps left over, which is what's in this pot, cutting it out. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a yellow base. I'm going to use yellow oxide. I'm just going to mix these colors in with it and make that soap. So it's got a pretty simple process today. I'm going to be using my tall skinny mold for this, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have extra left over, so if I do have extras left over, this is my column mold. This is a silicone mold. Highly recommend this if you want to do a column mold. Now it does tend to pop open at the seams, but these clips completely prevent that from happening. And then when it's set up, all you have to do is peel this apart just like that. This is a great mold. I love it when I want to do a column mold. And these big binder clips prevent it from popping loose. This mold by itself will actually hold water. It'll hold hot water at that. It seals that well. So if I have to, I've got that as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Get you inside here. The stick blender is set up. The lye is cooled. About 115. I always put Tessa silk in here, so that's why it's cloudy. Just put that in there. Let's get started. Here we go. Going to make a little bit of noise. What I'm going to do is just get a light trace started, and then I'm going to put my color in and get a very, very, very thick trace to spin these embeds. Alright, that's all I want to get started. Now normally I would disperse this in oil to make it mix better, but because I'm going to stick blend this for a long time to get a heavy trace or thick trace, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to put a teaspoon of this yellow oxide in. I like this because it's a golden yellow, gives it a nice, just a really nice buttery looking yellow. And by the way, this is a slight deviation from my recipe. Let me talk about this other. I want to set it just a little bit. This other recipe that I made that didn't come out of the mold, a lot of you wrote in to me and commented, and I appreciate that. Suggestions and tips to make this harder. Some of you said to use sodium lactate. Some of you said to use a different recipe that had more solid oils in it. So guess what I did? I ordered sodium lactate, I ordered palm oil, I ordered shea butter, I also ordered rice bran oil. So I'm going to try a completely different recipe. This is still, for the most part, my tried and true. I'm using a different calculator than I've used for a long time. It does have a little bit more castor oil in it, but it's still basically, for the most part, 15%, 50% olive, 50% coconut oil with a little bit of castor oil in it. But because of y'all, so many of you wrote in and gave me comments and tips. I really do appreciate that. That's the reason I do this. I've learned so much on YouTube watching you all. I just think it's fair that I should return the favor. So I'm just kind of paying my dues by doing this. I'm going to blend this just a little bit more, get it just a little bit thicker, because I really want a very thick batter to blend all these. Really about as thick as it's going to get by stick blending. So let's go ahead and mix these. The brown in this, the white was uncolored, but I put coffee grounds in it, and that sort of made it somewhat of a tan. The dark, I used Hershey's Cocoa, and I also used Brambleberry's Pumpkin Souffle, which has a darkening characteristic. This smells fantastic. This has been in here with the lid on for a week. It smells absolutely fantastic. So let's get these in here, get this mixed up, get this in the mold. I told you this would be a pretty simple, quick one. And this way, at least all these pieces are not going to go to waste. I'll still have a nice bar of soap, and I think it'll be a pretty decent looking one at that. Now, seeing this, I'm pretty sure this is all going to fit in my vertical mold. I'm not going to have to use my column mold. Oh yeah, this is going to look really nice when it's all set up and then cut into it. Smooth this out and tap it down to get rid of the air bubbles, and let these embeds sit in there nice and take their place. I'm not going to try to put a texture on this top because, first of all, I'm not really all that good at it, and second of all, I want these embeds down in the soap. I don't want them to poke out the top, so I want to get this fairly smooth on the top. And you know, that was the perfect amount because that just filled the mold perfectly right up to the edge. And I just really think this is going to look great. I'll let this go. I'll go ahead and spray it with alcohol in a few minutes when it firms up just a little bit more, so that way I don't get soda ash on top. I'll probably cut it this time tomorrow when I get home from work. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow when I do the laundry soap. Talk to you more about these. Talk to you more about what's in the bucket that I was showing you with that fantastic suds. Your cold process soap can do more than just clean you in the shower. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. For instance, what's in the bucket? That was just the little traces that were stuck in the mixing pot that made that really concentrated soap. Of course, it's a 0% superfat, so it's a pretty strong soap. But all those incredible bubbles. Now, you know what I'm going to do with that? I've told you many times I wash dishes with it, wash the car with it. We're having a lot of rain here, so I'm not going to worry washing the car. And I had plenty of soap made up for dishes. What I'm going to do with that, I'm going to pour that bucket of water in the commode. That's going to give me my suds and cleansing in the commode. I'm going to pour some bleach in it. That's going to give me my sterilization. So I'm even going to use my soap with a little bit of bleach added to it to clean the commode. Your cold processed soap can do so much more than bathe you in the shower. I'll talk about this tomorrow when I cut this. I'll do another one when I make my laundry soap. Anyway, y'all have a great rest of the weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.